What's up, Crypto Crew, and welcome back. Or if this is your first time, I'm Captain Crypto Might, actively escaping the matrix, scoping out the crypto oceans. If you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt.
Into the boat!
Crypto Crew today will break down the real stories and tough questions behind the world of digital assets. Specifically, we're tackling a question that every crypto holder should ask. When you see a balance in your wallet, do you actually own those coins, or is someone else in control? With so many platforms promising easy profits and slick user experiences, it's easy to forget what makes crypto revolutionary in the first place. Is your money truly yours, or are you just trusting another middleman with a new face? And what happens when things go wrong? Can you still access your wallets, or are you left out in the cold?
Pump it up!
Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. This is the reason why I continue to speak about self-custody. You have to protect your digital assets, especially during the 2025 bull run. And our personal opinions, the Tangent wallet is your best option, plug and play, easy to use, and the most affordable cold storage out there. So if you wish to order your Tangent wallet today, you can get 10% off using code CryptoCrew. Check out the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for your consideration and support in advance, and may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you all.
I really think the technology behind Kaspa is unique and is going to work in a cash-based system.
Crypto Crew, in today's episode, we're going to pull back the curtain on the difference between the centralized platforms that still dominate much of the crypto ocean and the truly decentralized crypto projects like Kaspa. In the video you're about to watch, our guest speaker Junny from the Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation, or KEF, dives deep into why permissionless and trustless networks like Kaspa aren't just fancy buzzwords. They are the foundation of real ownership and the way to financial freedom, and why Kaspa's approach to decentralization is designed to empower everyone, not just the insiders. Let's get into it.
First thing we talk about is why trustlessness and why permissionlessness actually matter. And this question is important, as this is why you would like to sign up for such a network. And I know many people here are more interested in buying a node server or validator server and then make some profit and returns, right? But the question is, how can you be sure that the number of the money in your account actually belongs to you, right? You have a mobile app, buy some network, and see you have some P&Ls every day. But how are you ever sure that the money is yours? So, firstly, I think it's important to remind people that these public open source blockchain protocols, these DLTs, are essentially permissionless. That should say anyone, they should be able to join this network at a very low cost, right? Because by permissionless means anyone in this world can join the network at a low cost. That is why Kaspa stands against, for instance, the Solana VM or the Moon VM. Because those virtual machines, unlike what mechanics are introducing in Ethereum, is another form of centralization. It means that you have to pay a lot of money to buy a lot of servers or RAM or CPUs to be able to become a node to join this network. Therefore, there is an invisible bar of entry to this network and makes this network not centralized at all. Why is it important? It's because it's about creating a more equitable world. So therefore, the importance of permissionlessness is about creating a world that is more equitable to cross the border or the frontier of power. So this is about empowerment. The first argument I'm going to make in this speech. The second thing I want to talk about is trustlessness. You don't know who to trust and why to trust, right? It's the first time I'm making a number and there's no specific reason why I want to be part of you, just because you're sitting next to me or what. And I have no idea if I have to trust you with my asset, with my money, if I should pay my money to you to get some service, or believing your premises of generating return for me in the long run. So therefore, I think this is a largely overlooking part, which Kaspa is also paying much attention to. That is to say, to the trustless network. Some infrastructures like the bridge service and also the wallet, we think that making a trustless one is very important. I think it's a cornerstone to build the security of the asset. I can quote a lot of examples. For instance, the recent incident of Bybit getting stolen of about $1.5 billion value of assets and so on. And therefore, we think it's important to build apps and build a network that allow people to have full control to its access, that make people to not be fooled by the UI UX or the web page that tells you, oh, now you have 1 million or even $1 billion US, but you can never withdraw or get it from the system to make it your own asset. And this is the biggest problem you have in this asset world, right? You don't know if that money, the number on your screen is yours or not. So this is why we have this renaissance, or we always stick with the Bitcoin mathematical consensus that we argue proof of work, where though maybe something with critical sacrifice of energy computing, this is not environmentally friendly enough. But why is it important? Because it creates a mechanism that even the most selfish, self-interest group and participants are incentivized to the right things. That is to say, we don't bet on the kindness of human nature, right? Of course, we think human creators are nice, they're awesome, and they're kind. But we can have no assurance of how these people will always behave in good faith with good intentions. And this is why we look forward, as all the POW teams, to create and solve economics, to exploit the property of scarcity, to create incentives, to make people do the right things. So even if you are the worst type of person in this world, maybe like myself, you are still encouraged to do the right thing, to follow the rules, and do good for other people. Kaspa is a proof of work chain with a maximum supply of tokens. It's not inflationary, and it involves scarcity. But the question then has to be, what about the design of incentives? The first version of nihilism is basically saying there's nothing that is wrong, so everything should be allowed. And the second version of that is there's nothing that is right, so everything is to be forbidden. And obviously, as crypto practitioners, we pursue the first version. That is why a lot of times the protocol is invalidating the morality of your actions. So for instance, like in a civil society, if you break in the door of a bank and you get the money out of it, they say this is unlawful and this is immoral. But in the crypto world, when you say, if I can attack on the smart contract code to get some money out of it, or I can make my money by launching MEVs or sandwich attacks to earn money from other people, then we say this is fine, and we say there's a flaw or shortcoming of the design, which needs to be reviewed to be updated. But we don't say these actions are unlawful or immoral. It is naive and bizarre to criticize people for behaving in a way that, but you're acting, not in good will, because there's no so-called moral standard here. When we say we want to achieve a decentralized consensus and decentralization in general, there is a question that why decentralization matters, right? Because everyone can either use Big Cafe or Alipay. They're pretty much a centralized entity on product, right? But you don't find there's a problem with it. Either because you find it's good enough or you have enough trust with them, but also maybe just because there's no significant problems, right? You don't have a problem of withdrawing your money from WeChat to your bank account. And if you never know that, I can give you a the product immediately in the next hours. So therefore, then unfortunately we have to say the issue of morality is not self-manufacturable or it's not self-evident. It has to be reminded and undiscovered when more and more parties inevitably will commit crimes or will do the wrongdoing as they are naturally inclined to do. We have a list of examples here. For instance, Hyperliquid, which is accused of having market manipulation, of crowding people out of the current trade. Alright? So you have a long list of these wrong behaviors, and only with so, alright, people are reminded, why did I forget about the promise of decentralization? Why have I forgotten about the safeness of the consensus to protect myself from the manipulation of the more power beforehand in this world? Take a while for people to understand why permissionlessness and trustlessness actually matter. Because inevitably, when the liquidity in the market is limited, people will do the wrongdoing. So basically, we're arguing when the market's good, everyone's fine. When the market's not that good, everyone's not that fine. Alright? Then people will realize that there's no way to push us this kind of stuff, and therefore they still need to stick with the commitment of decentralization.
Crypto Crew, if this video got you thinking about who really controls your crypto, you're not alone. As we heard, the difference between centralized and decentralized platforms isn't just technical, it's about trust, access, and true ownership. Kaspa's permissionless, trustless design means that you don't have to rely on anyone's goodwill or promises. The system itself protects your assets, even when the market gets rough. When everything is working smoothly, it's easy to feel safe, but the real test comes when things go south. And that's when decentralization and self-custody matter the most. Again, check out the description box below to get 10% off your Tangem wallet. Always ask yourself, crypto crew, do you own your coins or does someone else hold the keys? Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Shout out to Junny from the Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation and the Kaspa community. Speaking of which, drop your thoughts about this video in the comment section below.
Stick around.
Fix your mind before you get to the grind. And with that said, let's continue to escape the matrix. Let's continue to be on the lookout for the next big thing here on the crypto ocean. Grow in grace and let's make some crypto waves. Say I.